Welcome to the Washdown podcast. And on today's episode, we have returning guest Leon Lamphear. Leon is a police officer, has been for about 3 years, also served in the military. We met on a swell trip. I'm sure you guys have seen that podcast from last year. So just had him back on the show, got to do a check-in, see how he was doing and how things have changed since going on that trip. We had a great conversation, had a great time making this podcast. So hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So here you go, the Washdown podcast with special guest Leon Lamphear. It's a business for them, so they're going to make that money back. So
yeah, hopefully.
If you've ever done any music recording, it's to be in the studio, it's pretty expensive, and they do it by hour.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I don't think we ever recorded a song that took less than 10 hours. So, I mean, you're looking at, I think it was like $1,500. And that's just the recording part. That's not the mixing and all of that stuff. They tack that on afterwards. Yeah.
It's kind of like getting your car worked on, and you're like, hey, yeah, the parts are this much, and then, oh, that's not too bad, $500 for parts. Yeah, well, then it's like $4,500 for labor.
Yeah.
Well, you see, we're the experts. It's
yeah.
like, whatever, dude.
Well, dude, and the way that they make cars anymore, it's fucking ridiculous, because to change this part, you've got to take these 7 parts off to get to that part to change it, which is a $5 part.
Illuminati.
You ever Google how much it costs to change the oil on like a Bugatti?
No, I don't even want to know.
$25,000.
What?
They literally have to take the car apart to change the oil.
That seems like a poor design.
It's stupid. Yeah.
I just traded in and buy a new one.
When you can go out and buy a freaking ZL1 or ZR1. That
yeah.
Probably does just as well. Or a GTR. I watched a video of a GTR just gapping a Bugatti. It's like, okay, much, much cheaper.
Yeah.
Easier to change the oil on.
Yeah. You could probably do it yourself.
It's probably at max $250, not $25.
Dude, why are rich people so crazy?
I don't care how rich I am. I would never buy a
Bugatti.
Bugatti.
They're rich, because you can. It's a status thing.
Yeah, but
hey, look what I can buy and how much it costs to maintain, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
yeah. I don't know.
It is what it is.
It's not me. I can't even imagine or fathom.
I'd just rather have a nice truck.
Yeah. Something that I can go different places in.
And if it gets hit, it gets hit. Yeah, it gets hit. Like, you know.
No, I'm not okay with that.
No, I'm saying, like, if you're out, you know, overlanding or something like that, whatever you like to do, I mean, if something happens to it, it's not going to be a $40,000 repair for a scuff on the bumper.
Yeah.
Like, if you're buying a car like that, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But
I get your point. Yeah.
Nail polish.
Nail polish. Dude.
Walmart's got a huge selection of it.
Yeah.
So
that is so I'll let you guys in on a little secret from the overlanding Jeep community.
Yeah.
Most people, if they do any type of, like, even semi-hardcore where you're crossing streams and stuff like that, you're going to put nail polish on your wheels because you're going to get rock chips all in them. And that's the easiest way. And you can't even tell. You just get some black shiny nail polish.
So because you're giving away secrets, does that excommunicate you now?
No, as long as I don't post maps on YouTube. Apparently that's a fucking faux pas.
Can't post maps?
Yeah. Like, people get super bent out of shape about that shit. Like, all the big YouTube people, like that, you know, they'll be like overlanding out in Colorado or California or somewhere like that. And if they post their route, the people get bent out of shape about it.
Why?
Because
it doesn't make any sense.
Because then a bunch of people are going to go there and ruin it for everybody. Well, guess what?
Isn't that kind of the point of overlanding?
Yeah.
Is to go see cool stuff.
If you figured it out, they're going to figure it out. So just stop being a douche. But a lot of guys do that.
Google Maps is a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hearing.
But, you know, like these, and I watch a bunch of them on YouTube, but they if you are like their Patreon supporter or whatever, then you can get all of their routes and tracks and all of that stuff. And you just got to pay money for it.
They just want to make money.
Yeah.
So they're douchebags too, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Hey, look at this cool stuff I found. I'll sell it to you for $1.
It's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, Leon, thanks for coming back to the show. Appreciate it.
Different state too.
Yeah, a little different location.
Yeah.
Don't hear the waves in the background.
No. But I'm also not paying like $25 for a coffee either.
That's true. You got coffee for free.
Inflation.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
almost for free.
Almost for free. You got to buy it, but Black Rifle's pretty good.
Well, I mean, and you have to sit here and talk to us.
I don't mind that.
Cool. Well, let's refresh everybody's memory. Just give us a little bit of your background, and then we'll go from there.
Oh man, I don't even know what I said last time, but I don't know. I've been in law enforcement for almost 3 years now, working with a department in the area. Got out of the academy in about July 21. Spent 7 months in the academy at Kansas City's academy. So, and if you had to edit that out, go ahead. But
I think that'll be fine.
No, but just been enjoying it. Love this job, and obviously, like we talked last time, we had some issues that we went through and needed some help with. That's why we went out to California to kind of hang out with everybody and kind of go through some cool things. I honestly can't remember the lady's name that helped us out there, but obviously Matt was a big part of it. But when you go through really traumatic experiences, that's, sometimes you don't know how to deal with them, and you find people that help you deal with them. But a few years in law enforcement right now. I'm enjoying it, loving it. Since then, made SWAT back on day shift. I was on night shift. Wasn't really enjoying that. Life's a little bit easier now. I actually feel like I'm getting better sleep. Yeah. So I feel happier too.
Cool. So did you, any of that stuff that we did on that swell trip, the meditation and the breath work and all of that stuff, did you continue any of that whenever you got home?
Not so much the meditation. I've never been big on meditation, but I have noticed when I get amped up on calls, not even just on calls, let's say usually once I get on a call, I'm pretty calm, unless it's just like a really crazy situation. But on the way, sometimes when you're running code, I'm sure you guys get the same thing. Like sometimes you just got to take that deep breath and try to relax because you feel that adrenaline dump or adrenaline rush coming. Mm-hmm. The breathing techniques have really helped. So, but not a lot of meditation. I just never really was into that, which is, one of the takeaways that we took from her was that you don't have to do all of it. If you take one thing away that's going to help you, that's the greatest thing that we can benefit from. The one thing I was talking to my girlfriend about was, those big fluffy stuffed animals. They're kind of soft.
The Squishmallow.
Squishmallow. Yes, I said, can I get one from my patrol car so that way if I get upset I can just grab it and just start squeezing and hugging it? Because dude, those things are incredibly soft.
I still use it for my shoulder from surgery.
Yeah, but no, the breathing techniques. So,
angle the mic at your face. It's episode 129, and you still ain't figured that shit out.
It's on purpose anymore. Hashtag fire Chris.
He's just trying to gaslight.
Trying to get fired.
Hold on. Yeah, so hashtag fire Chris. That's a thing. But nobody's voting.
No. It's because I've said people suck, and they're like, we're going to show him we suck. He's keeping his job. His unpaid internship. That's what it is.
Have you ever heard somebody complain this much and then still voluntarily just show up?
Yes.
Without getting paid?
Sometimes.
I'm still hoping something's going to happen. I'm like that little kid in The Incredibles. I'm just waiting on something awesome to happen.
Oh.
And they're like, oh, totally worth it. I never want to get fired.
No, my Lord.
You're unfireable.
I know. That sucks.
Yeah.
When you have the personality and the charm and the looks, and everybody just loves you.
Yeah.
You got to stick around.
Well,
I'm the glue holding this show together right now.
Yes. That's 100% accurate.
yeah. Well,
I mean, they don't come here to see him.
Everybody's got a
He's like
got a part to play.
Every episode's the same thing. He says the exact same stuff every time.
I say different things.
No, you change the order. You're like an attorney. You ask the same question 15 times in different ways.
To the point to where you have like a stroke and an aneurysm at the same time. You have no idea what he's saying. You don't even remember that the fact that you're in a courtroom.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I thought I was at home.
Hey, man.
I
Some of us just
zone
have
out.
it like that.
Half the episodes,
You got to
if
get
you
to the
watch 'em,
root.
I'm just zoned out. What? What's going on? What are we talking about?
The worst co-host ever.
Just be a hostile witness in all those events. Keep asking him the question.
How often do you have to go to court?
Well, in our department, we have to go once a month. And that's just because we don't have like people to sit in the court. So they make us go for security purposes and processing purposes. But I'll tell you that I think I've probably only been subpoenaed on 3 cases the entire time I've been there. But those are just city cases. My first state case is coming up, which I'm pretty excited about because that guy needs to go away. So, but that's it. Not much. Once a month. Sometimes it's overtime depending on when it falls.
Yeah.
And then just chill, help them out, and then go home.
You got to wear all your like Class A or what?
No, state court you do. State court you wear Class A's. Municipal, no. You just wear your uniform, your Class B's, whatever you usually wear.
Do they let you take your gun in?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh,
Why can't I take my gun?
Wait, hold up. You can't take your gun in a state court.
I don't know.
See, this is how much I don't know.
I
I'm about to have my first experience.
Yeah.
But no, like, of course we can. I'm trying to get it pushed to where, like, if it's our off day and we have to come in, that we don't have to wear our Class B's. Like, why can't I just wear slacks, polo, and my gun and badge? So.
Because that would mean you're a detective.
Well.
I mean.
You have to show up to work first.
Hey, man, they work from home. Leave them alone.
Take home cars and they never come out. So.
Hey, man. I mean, it just sounds like a lot of sour grapes. That's what that sounds like.
You get the occasional good one.
I don't understand, like, obviously, most people's perception of that is from TV. Just like most people's perception of what a firefighter does is from fucking Chicago Fire or,
what do you mean? That's
the
the most.
Something.
The Rescue Me is at least somewhat accurate.
I mean, those are some of the most realistic shows.
It's documentaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
only one documentary. That's Backdraft.
I used to watch the hell out of that
Rest
movie
of
when I was younger.
Still a great movie.
Someone sitting at this table might have sent someone else a meme from Backdraft here in the past week or so.
You go, we go.
Just terrible.
Whatever. A great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
The second one was terrible.
There's a second one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Straight to Netflix.
Awful. God awful.
I never even watched it.
Why the hell would you remake that?
Well, it wasn't a remake. It was a sequel.
Well, yeah, why would you?
And basically, it was Bull's son is now an adult.
Why would they make it? Because somebody wanted some money. That's why.
And like, this is going to be awesome. And then I watched it, and I was like, I want to turn it off. Nope, power through. Like, this is bullshit.
Backdraft 2. This time, it's twice as dangerous.
Yeah.
As if it wasn't already dangerous.
I wanted my money back.
Yeah.
With your Netflix subscription?
Your Netflix account?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was that bad. It was horrible.
Well, I mean...
It's not the worst I've seen, but it's up there.
As many movies as there are on Netflix, I think if you took your monthly payment and divided them all by that, I think your refund amount for that one movie would probably be maybe less than a cent.
Whatever, I want it.
But then you have to divide that by the amount of time you spent watching it. So, or like let's say if you only spend an hour watching it, then you got to divide it by that.
Oh no, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole 110 minutes.
Because you know that's how Netflix is going to be like, well, you technically only watched this much, so we're going to give you half a cent back.
I even watched the credits because I sat there with that dumbfounded look on my face. I'm like, what the fuck?
In all
I was
honesty, it's
pissed.
probably much less than a cent.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know how many movies are on Netflix right now, but if you're only paying $20 a month, then
Yeah.
way more.
They probably would owe them money.
Probably.
Well, you see, sir, you're actually benefiting from this service.
Doubt
So you owe us
Making me more of a couch potato.
$79.68.
Yep.
They're making me more of a couch potato.
They're hampering your fitness goals.
Yeah, I like Hulu because they play Futurama. Hulu's better.
Well,
So I never
That's-
found Futurama to be funny.
That's good. You're a cop and you're not smart enough to get it.
I'm very intelligent. It's just very boring. You
Wow.
know,
I
I'll give
said
you
what I
this.
said.
It's okay. So my buddy, his girlfriend's daughter goes down to a school somewhere in Kansas, and because of some security issues, I'm not gonna say like obviously where and who she is or anything like that, but they want to do a career day, and he asked our chief if he can go down there and do career day for a cop, and I said, you know what you really should do, find our worst body cams of us showing on scene and like doing like combat medicine on people, like trying to get them stabilized, and then I want you to like specifically pause it at certain points when you can scan like the surrounding area, and then just show everybody, including the firefighter in there, and notate that we were first on scene.
They just create more work for us. You know that, right? That's all they do.
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm not going to debate that, but I will say
I'll
this.
tell you what, give us guns and tasers. We won't have to call you
I
again.
feel like you guys should have guns and tasers anyway. So
Yes.
Yeah.
especially if you're working down in like fucking East
Yeah.
Zone. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But-
that butts up to where I work at.
The funniest thing is like it wasn't funny for the guy, but we came up on this guy got stabbed by this random dude, and we get downstairs in the basement, finally locate him, and he's sitting there just moaning. He's in rough shape, like bad. I can see a slash across his neck, across his head, and he's like holding his stomach, and I'm like, hey buddy, where you stabbed at? He didn't really speak any English. And so on the border of
two
just
cities.
skip that, on the border of two cities,
See what happened was
see. God damn it, man! I get so into like talking
Dude,
about it.
You ain't the
Yeah.
first one. Don't worry about
Anyways,
we had a guy that made it exactly 45 seconds one time.
Jesus.
it. Yeah.
Anyways,
Delete.
I lift up his shirt. The other officer from the other city is right there, and I'm like, "Where you hurt, man?" I go to lift up his shirt, and I'm like, "Oh, well, his intestines are falling out of his stomach because the guy slashed him
Ooh.
completely." And I'm just like, you know what? Just give me a bandage. We're gonna wrap it because I have no fucking idea what to do with this. So.
That's
That's about it.
that's about it.
And then your boys came in there and were just like, all right, got him the hell out of there.
Yeah.
He survived. I'm surprised because he was critical, in really bad shape. So, but
This
it goes to you
really
guys.
good.
We have what we're good at, and I know my limitations.
Oh yeah.
I see
Same.
something like that, you just pat it, let you guys take care of it, because I feel like I'm just gonna make it worse.
We've all got our responsibilities on calls, and
Hey guys, I rope tied it.
is that a piece of string? He put a tourniquet on the intestines, guys. quick, get a picture, quick before I take it off.
Oh.
Can I put a tourniquet on this guy's neck? I mean, he's already gone. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one yet.
No. I mean, the funniest
Knocking on wood. I don't want to see that.
one of the funniest things that I saw was during all of the peaceful protests that were going on. You know, they had the Antifa medics running around, and this individual got grazed in the leg by a
I
rubber
saw that.
bullet.
Saw that video.
oh yeah, and they were trying to tourniquet his leg.
Yeah. So I'm like,
It's like not even a puncture wound.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a
was
it's
like,
a bruise.
go for it and crank that motherfucker
Yeah,
down
just
as hard.
all the way.
Yeah.
You know they wouldn't because they've never been through training. They don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, wait, you can get 2 fingers in there, right?
Yeah.
That's good. All right, cool. That's definitely gonna stop blood.
Yep. That's how it works.
Fucking idiots, man.
It's like watching medical. Like you watch cop shows, firefighter shows, or medical shows. I just get angry. Oh, I get angry. All
Yeah.
three, especially the medical and the fire stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, these booger-eating morons.
I will admit I know how to put a tourniquet on. Like,
Well,
and I have. We had some gunshot victims one night. And this kid unfortunately got shot high up in his thigh, and I had to crank like almost into his groin area, and I got it on there pretty good. Now, that was the first time I ever applied a tourniquet to somebody, but I was proud. I was proud of myself. Knew exactly where my tourniquets were. Got there, went through W March, the whole shebang, and got this kid taken care of. And he survived. Did a good job.
Good.
So
nice.
I don't know what W March is.
So it's an
I just thought I'd
acronym.
put them on.
Yeah.
It's an acronym for like combat action medicine or whatever. So I'll have to try to spell it out. W, weapon. Always secure somebody's weapons or anything they have on them, because they start going. Let's say they black eye. They wake up. They have no idea what the hell is going on. They're going to reach for their weapon, especially a cop. Massive hemorrhaging for M, airway, respiratory, and then circulation, and head and hypothermia. So you go through all those steps, and you figure out what the hell's going on each step. You fix it, and then you keep going up into the point that you get to head hypothermia. So, but it works. That's what we're taught.
I would never taught that.
Yeah, that's what we're taught. You guys are taught obviously much more because you guys paramedics. You guys are paramedics, right?
He's a paramedic. I'm an EMT.
You're taught much more than, like, obviously much. You're taught way more than we are, and then you're taught more than EMT.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
so.
I mean, the mnemonic works.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. So it's quickly how we can do it until you guys get there. And I know we talk shit on each other a lot, but like,
Make sure when the medic shows up and they ask you what was the bleeding like, you can
Tell
describe it
them.
and
Yeah.
not be like, oh,
he was
that's a
bleeding.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see any blood around.
It was a
Why is there
lot.
tourniquet on? Well, he got shot. I'm like, okay, but there's no blood around. Was he shot here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do we have a tourniquet? Well, he got shot. That doesn't mean you get a tourniquet.
Yeah. So we're actually
It's not an end all be all for a tourniquet.
we're trained that if no matter what, that if we get shot, whether it's arm or leg, we go ahead and tourniquet. At least the way that they've taught us is that worst case scenario, you take it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know unless obviously I see something that's just spurting.
Yeah.
Like we all know what that is.
Yeah.
But it's.
I'm not saying it's not a.
Well,
I'm
and
not saying it's a bad thing.
I think the fear is
Just- yeah,
of
describe
internal
it.
bleeding, of it
Right.
not coming out the hole that it should be. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
you know,
That makes sense.
I mean, bullets don't. They can travel through a vein, or an artery.
Yeah.
well, they
It's
also
very rare.
I would
they
say.
also cannot exit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna
or they can break the femur, or
yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot-
I get
there's
the
a lot of things that
principle
can
behind
happen.
that. Yeah,
I would say the majority of the time it's
I mean,
probably
if you're
the-
seeing a lot of swelling now, you've got a lot of internal hemorrhage,
yeah.
and that's something to be concerned about.
I would say the majority of the time, what do you guys see, like fragmentation that causes heavy bleeding like that? Not through and through.
I think it's the size of the round,
Okay.
Yeah.
but and
And
where they get
location.
hit, and
How big the person is, assuming.
there's some of that too. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of variables to it, but yeah, you could fragmentation definitely depending on the size of the bullet,
Yeah.
where it hit. Again, going back to velocity, like you get somebody gets shot with a rifle round,
Yeah.
you're probably not going to get, and depending on the size of it, like if it's a smaller, like your 223, 556,
Yeah.
now you're going to start, but now then you get your 306, 308, 762.
Right.
It's not really
Yeah.
going to fragment. It's probably going to pass.
Just
through.
go right through.
Yeah.
I mean, even a ball, M85 ball is probably going to go, depending on where you get hit, it's probably going to go right through.
I mean, you could miss every bone and
Yeah.
go right through, or
Well, the
catch a bone
concussive
and just
force is
stop
going to
and-
cause some issues too.
yeah.
yeah.
So,
I ran back-to-back shooting calls last summer, and one guy got shot through the calf, not bleeding at all.
yeah.
But I think it was like a 22 or something. It was
It's like a BB.
yeah, the homeless dude walking down the road, and somebody drove by and just shot him. I mean,
Something bit me.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah.
And then, like 2 hours later, ran this guy who was walking down the road with his girlfriend, and somebody shot him with a 9mm. A lot. Every shot was below the waist, like through the thighs. I think not through the pelvic girdle, but pretty close.
Oh, man, that's like-
he was. I mean, he was bleeding a lot, but he was still conscious.
That's DOA. You get shot in the pelvic girdle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no fixing that. You can't tourniquet that.
No, that's pack and hope you freaking
Yeah.
get to a hospital on time, and even then, you're probably not.
Used to kind of be able to with those mask pants.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, it was low, like low traumatic injury, and you're basically cutting the blood flow off to the lower extremities.
That's
But
scary.
you don't use those anymore.
Yeah.
You don't even have them anymore.
Because I've watched videos of cops getting hit there in that girdle area, and it folds you.
Yeah.
Like and then now you're worried about, oh shit, like
Yeah.
that is not a fun place. Wouldn't be a fun place to get shot.
I can't imagine there's any fun place to get shot.
No, but I'm saying, like, hey, hell, if you get hit in your forearm, like, you're probably gonna be okay. You get hit in the pelvic girdle, you better have your will set. I would say it's probably not gonna be a high chance.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Especially depending on, I mean, again, it goes back to the luck on that one, and angle and caliber, and if it ricocheted, if it not, did it miss? I mean, you're talking millimeters.
And that's why we all need bulletproof underwear.
Try running in that.
we don't.
You want to talk about swamp ass, dude?
I can only imagine.
I already sweat hard enough with our light vest on, man. Like, fuck, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
No, we went on a tangent there.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That's what we do.
Yeah. We'll talk about what we're going to talk about for like 5 minutes, and then for an hour and 45 minutes.
Look at that. All started with a
Ah, man, we all have some fun experiences.
But to go back to Futurama, what I was going to say is
It's an amazing show.
Well, no. It is. I will give you that. But the guy who did the voice for Fry also did the voice for the little robot.
Invader Zim?
For Booster Gold for the Justice League show that was on like 2003 or something.
He's done so all like most of his stuff is voiceover.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
So just random.
I wish I was intelligent enough to watch that show.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
maybe in another lifetime.
Maybe.
So I don't think it has to do with intelligence. I think it's an age thing.
Yeah.
Because I think it was already on the way out before you probably started watching.
Yeah, I mean
stuff like that.
It was on after The Simpsons. I mean, created by the same people. But
when
their
was the
writing
last
staff
season?
had like 6 PhDs and like 15 master's degrees, all in like science and stuff like that. So like when you start, there's certain things that they, and everything's right. You start doing the math on it and like the science facts they give you, because people have broken it down like other.
It's
scientists.
like legit.
Yeah, they're like, no, they're dead on.
That's that's not the first time I've actually ever been told that. Not that I'm not intelligent enough to watch the show. No, a lot of people have told me that.
I stand by what I said.
A lot.
With all due respect. Sorry, I didn't add that earlier. With all due respect.
Now remember, I said with all due respect. No, I've been told people that like they're very, I don't know, they make very smart jokes that
they do.
If you don't have the research, you don't really know what they're talking about, you're not going to get it.
Well, a lot of times you don't catch it the first time either.
Yeah.
And you watch a series again or an episode again, you're like, oh, I get it now, because things just all of a sudden make sense. And so like, spoiler. So
really,
because Fry gets frozen in that first episode, you see Nibbler's shadow, and then it comes out later that he was frozen for a reason, like season 6 or 5 or whatever it was, and it's all there. It's like they had it all lined out all the way. So I mean, they really thought it out really well, and I'm excited for it to come back.
Yeah, because it is coming back.
July 24th on Hulu.
Making new episode. You know what I'm excited for?
That's my birthday too, by the way.
Congratulations.
Oh.
It's a good birthday present right there.
I'm
little things for me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for 2 days from now when Extraction 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Is it 2 days?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it.
The 16th.
I'm wondering how they're going to do
or
that.
3 days.
Yeah.
Is it, so did he survive, or is it a prequel?
Yeah, he
survived.
Yeah.
I figured he
you
was
saw
going
that
to.
in the previews.
Well, he didn't get shot in the pelvic girdle, so
Yeah, he was all right.
In the neck.
Yeah, just
by a 7.62.
yeah.
It grazed.
That's another fucking like great movie.
Yeah.
But when this guy is sitting 2,600 yards away from this bridge, and he's got this Amazon fucking scope on a G36 with a 16-inch barrel, and he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna cap this guy from all the way over here. It's not even a G36. I don't even know what it's G36 is a 7.62 round, whatever it was. That's what it looked like. But I'm like, I'm sitting there watching it with my girlfriend. And I was like, they ruined this fucking movie right here.
Or the fact that she killed the sniper with a scar.
Thank you. That's another one. And did you see how much her scope zoomed in?
Yes.
From that far away? It's like, yeah, you could see the beads of sweat on his fucking face.
Yeah. Best
it's
optic
like,
ever.
No. It's like, yeah, not even the most expensive Night Force optic can get you that shit.
Well,
So,
see.
but people don't know that. People don't understand that.
They
in
got
real life.
stuff we don't know about. Let's be honest here.
It's called Hollywood.
It's the military.
They're mercenaries. That's not the military. They're mercenaries.
Weapons of war.
I know. But you don't think the military has stuff we don't know about?
Speaking of weapons of war, not that I want to go all like political and 2A, but did you guys just fucking see the shit that Gavin Newsom just proposed?
Can I Google it real quick?
Yes.
Are you talking about?
my
Oh
genuine
no,
reaction?
I'm thinking of New York. I saw something New York just proposed.
He just proposed a 28th Amendment to the Constitution to basically make all of California's gun laws nationwide.
No.
So you have to be 21.
No, I'm Googling it. You're telling me.
Yeah.
So stupid.
No.
Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. And all assault weapons ban, which...
I still don't know what an assault weapon is.
Well, so the technical definition is a rifle or a weapon that has a selector switch that can be used either semi or full auto.
Oh, how do I get one of those?
Well, you have to have an FFL.
I want one of those.
Or you could be a part of a department that allows you to have select fire.
Yes.
I don't want to be a cop.
I'm not going to say which department. But I will tell you, I fucking love it. It is a blast. So
I do like shooting fully automatic weapons.
it is fun, man.
It's a lot of fun.
You know, I've never done it. Never done it.
And I get to have it every day. So,
Well,
Here's the thing is, I mean, if you're only down cover fire, it's practical.
yeah.
Other than that,
it's not.
It's not. Like,
I
I will say, depending on the caliber.
unless you're like Ramita Jeremy,
Yeah.
then it's practical.
Yeah. Depending on the caliber, really. Because the one that I have is a 9mm. And it just shoots flat as hell when it's on full auto. And it's really nice. But obviously, if it's 5.56 or bigger, stupid. No point.
Yeah, you can't.
No, I'm not saying it's no point for us to have them. They're awesome. But it's not very practical when you're trying to shoot a target. So,
No.
Yeah. When you're trying to hit what you're aiming at.
Try to be precise. Like I said, cover fire is one thing,
yeah.
but precision takes it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. We have different rules of engagement. We can't just pull out a 249 and start laying down suppressive fire as we're moving up on a target.
I don't
Why
see
not?
what the problem would be with that.
I don't either, but at the end of the day, I got to answer. I got to answer to my higher ups as to why I laid down 2,500 rounds of suppressive fire now
Into a trailer.
Any of us get shot?
Well, he had 3 ounces of marijuana within the trailer, so
Yeah. Totally acceptable.
That's legal now.
not above 3 ounces, which is like whatever. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Dude,
It just makes my job.
I mean, as long as
easier.
you don't have a brick, who cares?
Yeah. Well,
That's personal use anyway.
cocaine.
Yeah. I think people go to the gym
How
all
do
day
you
long.
think I work nights?
Yeah. How do you think I put up with society? I spent all morning at the DMV. I'm still not happy.
I fucking hate the DMV.
See, the older I get,
Everybody hates the DMV.
the older I get, the more I understand the movie Falling Down. I'm
Yeah.
serious. There's a meme out there about it, and I'm like, it's 100% accurate. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is the DMV such an unpleasant place?
Because no matter what you bring, it's always something else.
Because it's ran by the government.
See, but it's not anymore. It's
privatized now.
privatized
Some of
now.
them still are still government. But even the privatized ones, like the one in Parkville, like generally is run pretty well. And sometimes it's not. It's just like, what the fuck? So, like the one in Northtown, Christ. You know what pisses me off is like I went there to go register a new vehicle, and they're like, hey, sign up for an appointment. You come in, you get it taken care of. I walk in, I go, hey, I got an appointment. He said, and like pretty much in a nice way, like, fuck all about your appointment. Get in line. And I'm like, what the what is the point?
No, I have an appointment. It's an agreement. We made an agreement. You had it. I agreed to it. You honor it.
We know what their excuse is. Oh, we don't use that service anymore. Why the fuck is it on your website?
Yeah. Good question. It's like they do it like doctors' offices do. They'll schedule 50 people for a 3 o'clock appointment, and then you don't get in until 4. But if you don't show up on time...
It was kind of smaller print that you had to have physical forms showing your address, like your insurance card, which is on my phone, or your...
Which almost everybody does nowadays.
Or a paycheck stub, which is on my phone, or utility bill, which is on my phone. I was like, okay, well, I've got them all right here. We'll have to scan them in. I'm like, okay, can I email it to you real quick?
No.
Well, no, you can fax it. Who the fuck has a fax machine? It's not 1984 anymore, all right? We don't fax shit. We email.
They pulled that shit with me, too. I was just like, what
I just looked down. I was like, this is the dumbest conversation I've had.
Oh, even better. You look on the fucking wall, and it says there's only like 1 or 2 documents that have to be physical. The other ones can be digital. And I get up there, and I tell the lady, same situation that you had. And luckily, I had a document in my truck. Just out of all the documents I had in my hand, I had 1 envelope in my truck that had the proper address. I don't know how the hell it happened, but I get up there, and she's like, well, it has to be physical. I look over. I said, your sign doesn't say that. It says only this document has to be physical. All the other ones can be digital. And she literally looked at me with the most dumbfounded look on her face, like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, you don't even know your own fucking policies.
I can read it. It's right here. It's right here. I can read it.
It's literally right over there. Well, sir, it's got to be physical. I'm like, okay, I'll go get it. Like, what the fuck, man? That's why. That's why the DMV takes forever, is because of that exact situation. That's just not that one. It's everything they have to deal with.
And why do I have to show you all these documents to renew my driver's license? Using the driver's license that you already fucking gave me. You gave me the ID. Why am I showing all this to replace the ID that you fucking gave me?
You know that they can look up the DOR and see everything that we see. Like,
yeah. Is it? Look, I can type. Look at that. It's not fucking hard. Give me the computer.
Get that fucking keyboard right there and type my goddamn name in there right now. Like,
you don't even use my name. Here's my driver's license number that you gave me.
Not valid. She can see everything. I'm not sure if you guys have seen a DOR like readout on Regis.
No, we don't get that.
Yeah, they can see it. It literally has a photo of you, and then all your everything that's on your driver's license.
I have seen that.
Yeah, everything you need. The past 2 addresses that you put on there, or whatever you have, and then they're still like, nope, can't identify you. It's got to be physical.
So
you motherfuckers created this shit.
So next time I get pulled over by a cop and they say, "Hey, I'm officer," I'm like, "Nope, I need your birth certificate, your social security card. I need your certification for your law enforcement bullshit. Oh, let me see all your past reviews. I don't think you're you."
Yeah, that's exactly the shit.
And let's see how that plays.
Circuit out of the car,
face down, eating concrete, in handcuffs, with 15 cops around me. What the fuck, man?
And then it's going to go even worse when they find out you're just a dick firefighter.
or jealousy's coming out then.
Or 3, he's going to be like, "You've been in the DMV before."
It could be. They'd be like,
"Well played, sir. Yeah. Well played."
He's like, "You know what? You have a good day." Tell you what, you want to escort home? Yes, I do.
This just in on tonight's news at 6.
But see, I mean, you start thinking about all this stuff you have to do as an adult. Falling down makes perfect sense. Why he snapped.
So, but
no, I'm not advocating going out and killing people. I'm not.
That only makes perfect sense if you don't deal with your mental health stuff.
No, he had enough.
No, but he should have used some
How do you know? We don't know if he did
good coping skills. Well, my guess, if he snapped and went and fucking shot a bunch of people and did all the shit that he did in that movie, he wasn't going to therapy and he wasn't using his coping skills.
He probably couldn't get a fucking appointment to therapy, Jeremy.
Well,
let's be honest here.
What kind of coping skills are we talking about? We're talking therapy, or are we talking about Joe Biden crack pipes and meth? What are you talking about?
Those are maladaptive coping skills, so we're not going to talk about those.
Man just wanted a Big Mac or whatever it was, whatever fast food place he wanted. Or he wanted breakfast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like 11:03.
Yeah.
He just fucking snapped.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I've never seen that.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's a great movie.
Oh, dude.
It really is a great movie.
Okay.
Michael Douglas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's, well, when was it? It was like 80.
Oh, no, it was in the 90s.
Was it?
Early 90s.
Look it up on your, you got your fucking tablet right there.
But I got the app on my phone.
Explains why I've never seen it.
You got to watch old school.
31.
30, oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
93.
93.
Yeah.
So,
a year. I was a year old.
yeah. No excuse. It's a classic.
You know what? You're right.
I was 11.
But he was, so to give
still
you
seen it.
a quick synopsis of it, like he's separated or divorced from his wife, has a
She
kid.
kicked him out.
Yeah, and she's got full custody of the kid. He can't see the kid. He's like,
He lost his job.
yeah, like everything bad that can happen has happened. And it's like his kid's birthday, and he's trying to get there to give him a gift, and what, his car breaks down, or
I think I
gets
want to say he got
stolen, or-
carjacked, and he was like,
yeah, I mean,
that was like it. With the movie Nothing to Lose.
Well,
That's kind of on that same.
if I got carjacked, I'd probably lose my shit too.
yeah, but I don't think you'd go on a killing rampage.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Remember, I haven't seen this movie yet. But all I'm saying
He
is...
started shooting people, and shooting places up. He's like, "You wronged me."
Bring my car back now! I kill everyone.
Nah.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I remember it's the premise.
I will say
Yeah.
it's not going to be a good day if somebody tries to carjack me.
Yeah.
So
No, it's going to go poorly for someone.
hopefully not me, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's situational awareness.
you know, you probably shouldn't be grabbing grabbing the door handles on the cars and trying to take them out of the car, and then,
No.
anyways.
We have, I don't know if we should talk about that. They just put some stuff on our ambulances, anti-theft devices. Yeah. Because that's a thing now.
Was this was this created after somebody?
Yeah. Well, and it's not just a problem, or it's not a problem here per se.
You see it nationwide.
Yeah.
You could go to the hospital and ambulance stays running because of all the equipment that's charging
Yeah.
and all that, and then here comes your homeless person who's like, "Hey, look, it's hot. It has air conditioning, or it's cold. The heater's on,
I can sleep in the back.
and I'm gonna take it for a ride."
What the fuck? Like,
Yes.
It happened. I mean, cop cars get stolen. Seen that
Yeah.
before.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's a reality of our world. Cars get stolen all the time.
They do. I would probably just go home.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even. I'd just turn my radio off.
Yep.
Just go home.
I'm
'Cause you know you're getting fired. Like,
Well, you're not coming out of it unscathed. That's for sure.
yeah.
So
I still have a badge at the end of the day.
that
so.
there's
You're
a
probably just taking ass chewing.
Huh?
Probably just taking ass chewing.
Us? No, not with all the equipment in there. Like,
I mean, if you're chasing somebody and they crash and you hop out and start going on foot.
well, granted, I think that's a different story.
Going to stop and like, oh, let me go lock my
No.
door. and then
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's a different story.
It's
Like,
all,
you can't
it's
really
all
change
situational.
that. But if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go into QT and get some
that's
water,
different.
and then you just leave your freaking car, like your window down, and
Yeah.
someone steals your patrol car. No, that's not acceptable.
but it was a safe neighborhood.
Yeah,
There are no safe
there
neighborhoods.
are none. So
No place is completely safe. Even in Demolition Man, they had a perfect society, supposedly. And it wasn't
it's still
safe at all.
shit happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy was trying to wreck it.
Yeah. Political correctness. And who was the doctor? Was it Cocteau?
I don't remember what his name was.
And he was corrupt as shit.
Yeah.
And then Wesley Snipes comes out and does what Wesley Snipes does.
Doesn't pay taxes.
You know he didn't pay taxes. He was a criminal in that movie.
Talking about good fighting or not paying taxes.
He did both of those.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a great movie, though.
It was a great movie.
They really
They thought it out.
Yeah. They don't make movies like that anymore so much.
No, not really.
See, they're making Expendables 4.
Yes.
Stop. And I can't wait.
The third one was enough. It's kind of like them turning Fast and Furious 10 into 3.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Well, those movies.
Yeah, those are boring.
Yeah.
Well, so.
When Paul Walker died, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that was the end of the
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it took basically a B-level budget movie, and they turned it into a franchise.
Yeah.
And they got really far away from what they were originally doing.
Like the original one was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one I still liked, and then they started getting like, okay, Tokyo Drift wasn't that great.
Dropping cars out of planes and
Yeah, I was like, we're going
surfing torpedoes.
now. We're going to Mission Impossible here, and these guys aren't trained for any of it.
Yeah,
Well,
but they're family.
Yeah.
We got family. You know what? The original one wasn't supposed to have Paul Walker or his character in it. So when they started creating Fast and Furious, it was in Columbine. Happened a few months after production started, and it was originally just supposed to be a bunch of street racers and no cop, no protagonist. Well,
How would
I don't know how they're going to do it, but that was the story of it. It was just about street racing. That's it. So, and it was going to be violent, of course. It wasn't going to be that kind of a show.
Yeah.
But I guess Columbine came out and everybody went crazy about violence in movies and stuff like that, because I don't know too much about Columbine, but I was assuming that violence in video games or movies is what
That's kind
they
of
kind of blamed it on.
Yeah, that's kind of where that argument started, because
Yeah.
the two were into video games and
Yeah.
internet and all that.
Yeah.
So they were going to cancel the entire production. So here comes the executive producers and everything. They're like, well, let's bring a protagonist in, and it ends up being Paul Walker's character as a cop. And then they changed the whole thing, and that's where the Fast and the Furious came out. So obviously it came out in 99. When did Columbine happen? Early 99?
No, I think
it was 97.
7?
Yeah, it was before I went to college.
Okay.
So
it's, yeah. I don't even remember when Columbine. I know, obviously, I was alive, but I was young.
yeah.
But I remember reading that, and it's just crazy how that franchise, honestly, it probably wouldn't have went anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's say Columbine never happened and they just released that one movie.
It was April 20th, 1999.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's say they just released that movie without Paul Walker in it.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have ever went anywhere. I think Paul Walker really helped make that franchise, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, that whole group of characters together actually was something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it.
It's kind of crazy.
So, it is. But we could sit here and have a whole conversation about mental health in movies and dealing with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Any Nicolas Cage movie, just pick one.
Face Off.
There's a whole lot of mental health issues in that one.
Whoa.
I used to really like that movie, actually.
Yeah.
I still kind of do.
That was whenever he did it was Con Air, then Face Off, or Face Off, then Con Air. That was the summer of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Well, I just watched the new one, Renfield. Have you seen that yet?
No.
That was awesome.
But Nicholas Holt's a good actor.
Yeah. But, I mean, and Nicolas Cage was Nicolas Cage the whole time, and it was just great. And basically it was him beating down Renfield the entire time.
Well, yeah.
And Renfield taking it and all that. And he was going to a group meeting.
About it.
Yeah, about not being good enough. You got to watch it.
Okay. No spoilers.
No. The bug thing was kind of weird, but it was cool as shit.
Yeah, but that's canon for that character.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Always Wonderland.
You
haven't seen that one?
Mm-mm. I'm kind of lost on what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, you and me both.
We're talking about Nick Cage movies now.
Yeah, but I stopped watching Nick Cage after Gone in 60 Seconds. So,
Shame on you.
Great movie. I'm not saying. I'm saying
No, that's a great movie. Yeah.
Great movie. It's just he kind of went from being a pseudo A-list actor to where he belongs, which is like a C-list.
He didn't pay taxes either.
That's why he's making all these movies to
fucking
pay all that off. And
yeah. Oh well, I'll take that back. I watched National Treasure. Those were some good movies.
yeah, those are really good.
So,
Yeah, that was
and then he stopped paying taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Indiana Jones Light. That's what that was.
But basically, Wally's Wonderland is he has to clean this Wonderland place at night. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese, and they all come to life and try and kill him.
What the fuck?
Oh, you got to watch it.
What comes to life?
The animatronics.
It sounds terrible.
It sounds fun.
It's not terrible. It's freaking amazing.
That would
Nicolas Cage was awesome. He never said a word the whole movie.
Do I get unlimited ammo?
He didn't even have to use guns.
I know.
He just
if this was a real life scenario, do I get unlimited ammo? Then yes, this would be fun.
So it's something you got to watch.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I'm telling you, you're gonna watch it and be like, that was awesome.
Yeah, maybe one day, whenever I've got nothing going on and I've completely finished watching every other thing that might possibly be good.
I'm telling you, you're not gonna be disappointed.
I will then go and select a Nicolas Cage movie.
They're gonna be like, you're gonna be 90 years old, be like, my whole life was a waste. I fucked up because I didn't watch this movie when I was told to.
Like, and I'm talking back to that, finding every possible option, like texting your supervisor and asking them if they need help, and going into work to avoid watching another Nicolas Cage movie.
Yep. Hey.
Goes back to
that goes back to everybody being short-staffed. I'm sure that, you can go years without having to watch that movie.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you'll not be disappointed if you watch it.
Just be recalling you from retirement. Hey, we need you.
Thank God.
Praise Jesus. My wife was going to make me watch a Nicolas Cage movie. And they're like, good. Man.
You guys are hating on a good actor. He's got so much range.
Really?
He just always screams.
Yeah, he does. And he's awesome at it.
Screams or whispers?
In 100 different ways in each.
There's no middle ground for him.
No. I watched... So speaking of him, I did watch it. I think it was on Netflix or it might have been Hulu. I can't remember. But sitting there bored one day, and I don't know if you've seen previews for the movie Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, yes. It is just as good as you might think.
Is it going to be like Red Belt?
No. It has nothing to do with actual jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
Yes. I don't know why they named it that. It's kind of insulting. But the premise basically is like once every generation or something, these aliens come and they have to fight like the best fighter on the planet.
That sounds like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
And
it's like Mortal Kombat / Predator. Like, yeah. And then and it's actually a group of fighters that has to fight, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was one of the fighters, like, for his generation, but instead of fighting and dying, he ran. And which, like, caused them to, like, this time whenever they come and they fight, like, if we don't win, then they're going to destroy the earth or some bullshit. I don't know. Yes. It was terrible. It was awful.
Sounds.
So you'll watch that, but you won't watch a Nick Cage movie.
Well, there's actual depth to that.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. And at least that's like it's a sci-fi fighting movie. I'm going to see some, like...
there's plenty of fighting in the movie.
Heel kicks, maybe, some tie clinches or something.
Yeah, tie clinches.
You're talking about it's like a horror movie. That's what you're talking about. It doesn't.
It's not even. It's like a comedy.
It's a horror comedy. It sounds
you
like
just laugh.
It sounds like Army of Darkness, only stupider.
Just insulting this man's taste.
It's like, no, I don't.
So Chris and I have known each other for almost 19 years.
Right, that's what he was telling me.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I hate him.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
But, when you know somebody's darkest secrets and they know yours, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Just waiting on retirement.
I'm only 3 years in, man, and I'm waiting on retirement now.
That's not good.
Let's see where retirement.
Not in a bad way.
Is.
I'm enjoying the job. The job is crazy. Do you remember the big pursuit that they had out here? The guy crashed into the field.
Vaguely.
I was part of that. The shenanigans.
Oh. So what's and I understand that every department has like different rules for that, like pursuit and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, what's the go, no go, like?
Well, since nobody knows like what department I work for, as long as I don't say it again.
Yeah. And then I remember to edit all of them out.
Got to remember to edit everything out. For us, it's a felony offense.
So it has to be a felony.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't pursue on traffic charges unless it escalates into a felony offense, which could be felony fleeing and eluding, which it has its certain circumstances, like significant risk to life and property. So, like if I start chasing after somebody and let's say he intentionally swerves at another vehicle to try to get them to crash or cause unjust harm to them, that would be a classification for felony fleeing and eluding. That person needs to be stopped. They have zero regard for somebody's safety, but if you're gonna pursue on that, just make sure you know like what you're doing. But other than that, felony level offenses we can pursue on within reason. Like be smart about it.
Yeah.
Some things are worth pursuing somebody to the edge of the earth and back. Some things are not, and that's exactly how you lose the ability to do certain things. So like you pursue like yeah, it's a felony offense, but do you know the person? Do you know where they're at? Do you know the car? If you know all that information, you're going to find them again, just shut it down. Don't be dumb about it. Yeah, like pursuits are fun. It's a lot of paperwork, and it's very risky. You run the risk of hurting yourself, hurting that person. Like, yeah, they're running from us. But most of the time, it's the risk to other people. So,
yeah.
But,
well, and that's the thing that people need to worry or need to think about running emergency, like firefighters, EMTs, cops. I mean, lights and sirens doesn't make people magically get out of your way.
you know it. We all know it. We've all driven lights and sirens, and you'll just be behind somebody, air horn, laying into it.
That's because they're like driving like this.
Yeah.
They got that fun.
Well, they have no idea what to do. Like, we had a car flee from us the other day, and we were stuck in a parking lot. The person wouldn't move, and we just couldn't catch up to it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, dude, I had one stop in the middle of the highway.
You give that person a ticket, right? That's a no.
In some scenarios, like, is it justified? Yeah. I don't think I've ever written a ticket for failure to yield. I've ran somebody's plate for that purpose before, but I just, at the end, once everything calms down, you're just like, whatever. I don't care anymore. We got the guy that we wanted. Whatever. In that scenario, probably not for that one, just because we were in a parking lot and the guy took off intentionally. He was trying to avoid us, and this person was just waiting to get out of the traffic and had no idea what the hell we were doing. So in that scenario, I'd probably, no, I'm not going to do that. But if I'm trying to run code somewhere and it is a, life or death situation, and this person is just blatantly not getting out of the way, yeah, I'm probably going to run that person's plate and then save it for later, write them a citation. So that's dangerous for us. It's dangerous for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it slows our process down of getting to that person who really needs help. You need to be paying attention. There's no reason as to why you can't look up and see the lights in your rearview mirror and hear those sirens. So
I do know that in my truck, it's harder for me to hear sirens than in my wife's car or in my work car. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just, but you also have to be aware of what's around you. That's how I was taught to drive.
Situational
I know
awareness.
what the guy 10 cars back is doing.
Yeah.
And the guy 20 cars up is doing. I know every escape route because that's how I was taught to drive.
Well, that's how, we're trained too.
Yeah.
Well, no, this was prior to
you being a firefighter.
Oh, yeah. Because my dad was anal about being
always having an escape route.
Yeah. I mean, you can be offensive and that's fine, but you got to know when to be defensive. Yeah. And how quick to change up your driving tactics.
Well, with the way that they design cars now, the quiet cab to shut out all the road noise and all that stuff, it's an issue. Plus, I don't know if you've ever seen the video of the sirens and how far you can actually hear them in a vehicle. Mm-hmm. But at 55 miles an hour, it's something like 300 feet, right? If you're at a stop sign and the fire truck is coming at you, it's like 300 feet. Well, for every 5 miles an hour that you go after that, it decreases that exponentially.
Really?
So Like you'd be right on top of somebody because you'll outrun your siren.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
I drive emergency on the highway a lot.
Yeah.
In my district, and at 80 miles an hour,
probably not hearing it.
Yeah, they're not hearing it.
Yeah, that's where the benefit of having the howler comes, which is nice. Which I don't know what the distance is on that, but two of the cars that we have howlers on them, which is a lot of people call them rumblers.
Rumblers, yeah.
Yeah. So
I kind of like how Germany does things. It's like if you're on the highway and it comes to a complete stop, everybody pulls. So if you're in the left lane, you pull to the left. If you're in the right lane, you pull to the right. And opens that center all the way.
Yeah.
I had one stop right in the middle of the highway yesterday. Like legitimately in the middle of the highway, just locked them up right in front of me.
Well, here's the crazy thing is that in Europe, that's how they teach people to split.
Yeah.
And then the firefighters and ambulances and police know to go down the middle.
Yeah.
United States, it's not taught like that. It's
Yeah.
taught get over to the right.
Yeah.
Which
doesn't make sense in a lot of places.
No, not especially if you have 3 lanes or
6 lanes.
6, yeah. Like, so either way, it sucks. I mean, it's fun running lights and sirens. And when I worked a year on nights, and then, I can do whatever the hell I want on nights, running code anywhere. And you don't have to worry about traffic. And you can sit there and cruise and look at your computer and be okay. Man, when I got back to days, my anxiety for running code went up because I forgot how bad it was that people didn't move.
Yeah. And
then, I mean, everybody gets, as much as we drive, it's only a matter of time before you get in a car accident. It's just numbers at that point.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm not running 90 miles an hour to a call and then get into a car accident because someone failed to yield.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. We have many more opportunities than the normal public. And we drive in worse conditions than most of them would ever drive in. I mean, snow, rain, sleet, it doesn't matter. We're still driving.
Yeah.
So you're going to have stuff that's
going
to
to happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like,
you just got to mitigate it as much as possible.
Yeah. And be smart.
Yeah.
Like, and know your car.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't do their vehicle inspections, and then they go out and they try to run code in rain when they have not so good tires. Yeah, well, dude, you're going to slip.
Yeah.
It's not magical. So, and then snow and ice is just a whole other freaking animal.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter what type of tires you have then.
No, it doesn't. Like, unless you're running chains, which is not, I mean, I know the ambulances they have chains, don't they?
Fire trucks
and the fire trucks
chains.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I never knew how those worked until somebody showed me that. I didn't know that it would drop down and it just.
Yep.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
That's some high speed shit right there, as we would say.
Well, yeah. You high speed, but they only work up to like 30 miles an hour. So it's low speed, high speed.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you're dropping chains, you probably shouldn't be going 30.
Yeah.
No.
There's really no reason to.
Nope.
I mean, you do want to get there fast? Yeah. But at the same time,
you got to get there.
You got to get there.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. You have to get there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of people lose sight of. And, we talk about that as don't be part of the emergency, And if you're becoming the emergency, then the people that you're going to help, what's happening to them? Nobody's going to help. Yeah. They're not getting the help now because you just did something stupid.
So what is it like running lights and sirens saves you 20, 30 seconds?
It's not it's not
maybe
even that much.
That max. Yeah. That's not a whole lot.
Yeah. I'm sure it changes during the night. Like obviously there's less traffic, but it's probably not much.
Even then I don't think it's a whole lot. I mean,
no.
Still got to come to the stop at the red lights.
You got to you got to clear your intersections.
Because you never know. It could be a car forgot to turn their headlights on. How many times have we seen that?
A lot. Yeah.
4 times last night.
How do you not know your headlights aren't on? I never understood that. How do you not know your lights aren't on?
You know what, man?
Apparently they got fucking night vision because
I need some of that.
Have you ever driven with night vision?
No.
It's kind of fucking cool. It's kind of scary, but it's kind of cool. My buddy is he's TAC-P and he has some night vision. He let me borrow it one night, throw it on the helmet. He's like, turn all your lights off in the car, and then go down to a park, turn all your lights off, just drive around. I was like, yeah, that's really gonna work out well when the patrol shows up. They're like, this fucking car driving down the park, and then I roll down the window. You ever see those memes where the guy's got like in the house, just got the fucking nods? I tell you, it's really fucking cool though, because you can't look down with the nods because they're distance, right? You can adjust them, but you have to look down with your eyes and keep the nods where they're at, and then look back up. So you can look down, look at your speedometer, and then look back up and do the nods. It's cool. I mean, it takes some things getting used to it, but yeah.
That sounds like another podcast.
Yeah.
That sounds like something that I want to do, kind of.
I do want to do that.
Yeah. If I ever get he moved, but he's supposed to come back here. I'll see if he ever visits. I'll tell him to bring him out.
Okay.
And they're cool.
I'm down.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh,
we're gonna drive Jeremy's Jeep though.
I tell you what.
Speaking of that, I don't know them, but there's an individual that I work with that knows some, high-speed guys.
Yeah.
And one of them has his Jeep outfitted with, like, the lights that...
Oh, the infrared lights?
Yeah, the infrared lights.
Yeah, that's the flood. That stuff is insane.
And just drives around his property with his nods on.
Tell you what, you won't see the amount of stars that you see. It's so cool.
Really?
Because you throw night vision on, you look up at the sky, and you see every star you ever, pretty much. It's insane. You would never think that, but the sky's beautiful under night vision. So,
yep, I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, It's insane. I think I tried to. Let me see if I can find it, because I'm pretty sure I took a photo through the tube of the sky. So give me a few minutes. I'll see if I can find it, and I'll show you guys. But
we got to talk to each other.
No. Like, I'm gonna try and multitask. I'm ADHD, man, so I can
So
you'll notice soon. I'll just stop scrolling and I'll forget all about it.
Yeah.
But
so that leads me to the question of then why does night vision look so shitty on the movies all the time then?
Because they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Truth is, night vision, like from what he was telling me, most of it's not even green anymore. It's white phosphorus.
Really?
Yeah. So it's super, super clear. The lights don't shine back on your eyes. That's a movie effect. So people think oh, they've got night vision on.
Or whenever you turn them on, they go woo woo.
Nope. Doesn't make any fucking noise like that. It's not a Bravo 6 going dark. Just it's not fucking powering up like a spaceship. It's literally it's like when we pull our flashlight out and we just click it on. That's literally what it is.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. It'd be a lot cooler.
Anticlimactic until you put them on. It's pretty freaking cool. But
just like the silencer suppressors in the movies, how quiet they are.
Yeah, it makes no noise at all.
Yeah.
That's not true, yeah. Unless you're shooting like a subsonic 22, which I don't even know if those exist, but any kind of subsonic.
I think they do.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I'm not a big 22 fan. I don't have any guns that are 22s.
Really?
No.
They're fun to plink with.
I wanted to get the Glock 44. We'll look for it later. It's cool.
Kicked in kind of quick.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? The Glock 44. It's the same size as the Glock 19, and it shoots 22.
So what? Okay, so
it's mostly just meant for cheap target.
But so that raises a question for me though. So why isn't it the Glock 22? Why do they call it the 44?
Because the Glock 22 is reserved for the 23 is the 40 cal 19 version, 22 is the 17 40 cal version. Doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
Yeah, Glocks never
Just
don't make sense.
Name it the caliber that it is.
But they're a reliable gun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course they're reliable.
It'll shoot forever.
Yeah.
Yep. So I shot my first Glock I ever bought. I shot 2,500 rounds through it without ever cleaning it. And it just worked perfectly fine.
It's driving him nuts right now that you just said that.
I did it on purpose.
I can see testing it because Glocks are made to not be cleaned.
Yeah.
And fire no matter what. No matter what test they put it through, it's passed without being cleaned.
So it's the pistol version of the AK-47.
Yes, it is. I'm not a Glock fanboy, but they will run. Yeah. So, but no, I intentionally.
But it does drive me nuts.
All my guns are very, very clean.
Yeah,
I keep them very clean. That specific one, I wanted to do that on purpose to see if if what I was seeing on like YouTube, these people running like, I think Grand Thumb did 10,000.
Something like that.
10,000 rounds through a Glock before he ever cleaned it, and it was still running perfect.
Yeah. No stovepipes, no misfires, nothing.
So,
because that's what it's built for.
So why can't they make every gun like that?
different designs, different tolerances.
They've got a patent.
Yeah. Dude, Smith & Wesson learned hard from that.
Yeah.
Smith & Wesson is still paying Glock for every single Sigma that's ever sold, brand new. Because they copied, so they literally copied the Glock. Smith & Wesson did. They called it the SD9, SD40. It's a Sigma. Well, Glock took him to court and sued the shit out of him to the point though where the order was that for every Sigma every sold here on out, Glock gets a portion of it.
You would think Smith & Wesson would just stop selling that gun.
Why they still come out on top.
Yeah.
Even if you had to pay, 10% of your profit to Glock.
Yeah.
You mean like the pharmaceutical companies putting out a product that they knew was harmful and paying?
Well, we made $300 billion and it only cost us $10 million. That's a pretty good investment.
That's not corrupt at all.
No, not at all.
And 50,000 people committed suicide because they didn't get the proper help.
Yep.
So,
but they made $3 billion.
Hey, they got that Bugatti though.
That's right. all the execs have them.
They're like, suicide, $25,000 oil changes.
Yep.
I mean, it is, man, it's a shame.
Yeah.
So
it is a shame that we don't take that shit more seriously.
Yep. It's doctors, man. They get paid. They get paid to fucking push some of these medications.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've set up a system that people benefit, and we allow people to benefit from that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, I think regardless of your politics or anything like that, which I think most of us kind of fall in the same line, Trump was trying to make it, at least I believe so, he's trying to make it illegal for pharmaceutical companies to advertise.
Yeah. It's illegal in almost the rest of the world.
Yeah. I know specifically the UK, it's completely illegal. You can't do that. And now you look at fucking I remember Zoloft. Like, oh yeah, you got depression, bipolar. Like, oh yeah, we got Zoloft and SSRI. It's just gonna fuck your life up even more because you're not fixing the issue.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they only give you some of the side effects like anal leakage.
I just like how it's like
in every one of them.
The best one is when you're watching. It's like possible side effects are eye pain, ear pain, headache, foot pain, and it's like just very minor shit.
Yeah,
it's like death. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and the side effects are worse than the whatever you
the
were
issue
trying to
itself. Yeah. You're changing the brain chemistry, and it's not. When your brain chemistry is already kind of fucked, and you start putting something in there, it's just going to make it worse.
Yeah,
not the smartest thing to do. And I've been on medication before, and it completely changed who I was recently.
Yeah.
And I had to get off of it. I was not a nice person. I was irritable all the time. And yeah, it was causing a little bit of a struggle in our relationship.
Yeah.
In our girlfriend's relationship. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of doctors that's the first thing they go to is and that's Western medicine.
Yeah.
I got a pill for that instead of let's actually treat the cause and not the symptom.
Yeah.
So
it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think doctors should get kickbacks for prescribing meds. Period.
Shouldn't be allowed to push it either. Which is, no. I mean, they're getting kickbacks and they're pushing that medication.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so, for everybody I prescribe, I get X amount of dollars.
Makes you question.
Why wouldn't I push it?
Yeah, but it makes you question how much medications are actually tested. Because how fast do they push the fucking COVID vaccine out?
Oh, that's a different set of rules.
Yeah.
They removed all the red tape.
Yeah. And made it to where if you got hurt by it, you couldn't sue anybody on it.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes back to falling down.
I saw it on a Instagram meme yesterday. Somebody was talking about the COVID vaccine, and this is the only place that I've seen it, so take it with a grain of salt or whatever, but they were saying that Pfizer and Moderna didn't actually create the vaccines. It was actually a military project. But that's the only place I've heard it. So
I wouldn't.
Conspiracy theory.
Dude, everybody. You familiar with Andy Frisella?
The name sounds familiar.
He owns First Form and Supplement Superstore.
Okay.
He has a big time podcast, and every single thing that he has ever said, pretty much that everybody called conspiracy, has come true. So at this point, I just think that all conspiracies are pretty much truth.
Conspiracy's a conspiracy until it's proven true.
Yeah.
Because if you don't want it to come out, you're going to say conspiracy theorist.
Right.
If I remember right, that started in like, what, the 40s? The term?
Conspiracy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's become way more prevalent since 2019, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, because I know whenever, I was in inpatient treatment, that was one of the things they were pushing meds hard. Like, you need this to stop drinking, and you need this for this and this and this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope.
That's the easy road.
Yeah.
Or supposedly the easy road. Take the magic pill.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I'm not a big fan of medication anyway, but then I'm in there and I'm looking at the other people that are in there that are on the meds, and they're having a worse time than I was.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
You look at that, you're like, I don't want that to be me.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to be zonked out, or I don't want to be like, I'll just deal with my shit and I'll go through it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, any kind of medication that makes you feel worse, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, no.
Probably should stray away from that. So it's kind of like you wake up the next morning after drinking a lot, you got a hangover. Probably not fucking good for you. Like, I got tired of that. I don't really drink anymore.
Good.
So I started getting really bad headaches, and I was like, fuck this. It's not even enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
it's not. Alcohol's not good for you.
Yeah. I feel, I don't really know the difference because I had already slowed down drinking anyways before I pretty much quit. Not that I ever had an issue, but it's just, there's no value in it for me.
Yeah.
I work, I come home, I have a family now. I don't have any reason to sit down and have a beer. I got stress in my life. Everybody fucking does, and the job's stressful, but you know what? I come home to my family. That's enough for me to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, more than enough. More than I fucking deserve. Like, I love my family. We got another on the way. Like, I don't need to drink to be happy. Fuck it.
So what do you do to de-stress?
Me? Well, the one thing that's really helped, because like my girlfriend forced me to, because I was coming home just irritated, and we're getting a new station built, so we don't really have a locker room where we can change, and everybody knows that like shedding, what Matt said, like shedding your armor. Mm-hmm. Wasn't doing that. I just go to work dressed and come home dressed, and I'm a completely different person at work. And that's what a lot of people, when her and I started dating, because like she was my dispatcher, and then we met, we ended up going out, and now we're together for a while now. But everybody thought I was just like a stuck-up asshole, because I'm just a completely different person at work. And that's what the job entails. I can be nice and I can be cordial with people at work, but most of the time I'm not, because I'm dealing with fucking assholes. But I shouldn't be bringing that home. So she made a rule that I can't come home dressed anymore, which I agree with.
That's a good rule.
Not completely undressed. I can't come home.
I mean, it's a kind of an awkward walk from the parking lot to the front door, but
if you got it, you got it. That ain't me.
That's why I wear a robe.
It's got a cutout.
Yeah.
A robe and slippers.
All I see are your balls. Where's the shaft?
I'm definitely the guy in the meme. I can tell you that.
So I start with that. I change when I leave work and I get home, and on the drive back, like, I'm just relaxing, and if it's nice out, roll the windows down, and get home and hang out, cook dinner. I enjoy cooking and making food and hanging out with the family. I'll play video games occasionally, and go to the gym, things like that. It's nothing like I come home and have to. Sometimes I'll go upstairs and lay on the bed. Just be like, hey, give me like 10 minutes. Let me go lay down for a second. And same rule for her. Like, yeah, I know the girls miss us. They want to come home. Like, every kid, I remember when I was growing up, man, I fucking missed my parents, and they got home. I just wanted to be all over them, like, and hug them, kiss them, because I love them and I missed them.
Yeah.
I never realized, like, how much stress our parents were under and how much weight they fucking carried.
Yeah.
Until you're a parent, until you come home and you're like, I need a second to just relax. Because if I don't, it's just going to build up, and then you're going to snap for stupid shit like the trash not being out.
Yeah.
Really, really uncalled for shit that you would never really snap for. So those are the things I make it a point not to come home dressed. I do the things that I love to do, hang out, and then if I need to just step aside for a second, I'll go upstairs and lay down and just be in my thoughts, be by myself, breathe and relax, then go downstairs when I'm ready. And if that takes 30 minutes, then it takes 30 minutes. It takes an hour, and it takes an hour. But guess what? I get to go back downstairs and happier. And I'll be the first one to tell you I don't always do that.
Yeah.
I don't. But I try.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to well, I'm not going to say it's hard to, but I think consistency with that kind of stuff is the key.
Yeah.
And then, obviously nobody's going to be perfect 100% of the time. Because, I have, it takes me 20 minutes to drive to work, probably takes me 40 minutes to drive home because of traffic.
Because of the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, different times of day or whatever. But I try to use that time to let go of whatever was going on, at the station.
Do you listen to music?
Podcast normally.
Okay.
And music sometimes, but mostly it's podcast or nothing at all. Just kind of
turn
depends.
it off.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
It is.
Roll the windows down, all you just hear is the wind.
Yeah. Well, I don't do that because I have to drive right through the middle of the city, so I want my windows up.
That's why you drive. That's why you drive around like this.
Oh.
No, but yeah.
So, but I don't always succeed at that stuff because sometimes
Nobody's perfect.
I get cut off in traffic or something, and I get irritated. And I get home and I open the garage door and I walk in, and the door between the garage and the laundry room that I use is locked. And so I'm beating on the door, calling my wife, "Just open this damn door. I told you not to do this." And yeah, so then I need to take a second. But it's I come home in a better mood more often than not because
That's
of
good,
having that time, to just kind of let all that shit go. So
yeah,
and I think for the most part, being in the position that I am now, I'm not seeing, unless I'm working overtime on, actually on a pumper or a truck or ambulance shift or whatever, I'm not actually seeing a lot of the stuff that I used to see on a daily basis. Because I drive the chief, so we're either getting there after or, not going on those type of calls at all. So.
And I tell you what, man, like one of the best pieces of advice that I heard from one of my academy instructors is like, if you don't have to see something, don't fucking go see it. Like I took that advice from him very deeply. And we had I think I was fresh off FTO, maybe not even 2 weeks. And I was staying overtime for our night shift. This is back when I was on days before I went to nights. And it was toward Christmas, and this dad that had been struggling with some mental health issues, and fucking dude, I feel terrible for the daughter because she came in, hadn't heard from him, and he shot himself in the head. He shot himself in the head with a 1911. Put his head to a pillow, put it to his right temple, and pulled the trigger. I saw brief photos of it, but I intentionally, one, for crime scene preservation. Yeah, it's a suicide, but it's still a crime scene until it's determined otherwise. Yeah. There's no reason for me to be going in there. We already have 3 cops in there, 4 cops. There's no reason for somebody else. But also just for my sanity, it's like, do I need to see that? No. So I chose not to. And it's probably a very big, you guys have been in this job a lot longer than I have. You've seen a lot more shit. And I'm sure you remember a lot of the stuff that you've seen. Yeah. Even if it doesn't like affect you, every single person I've ever seen that had passed, or every bad event that I've been on, I remember every single part of it.
Oh yeah.
So
It
affects you.
It all affects you, man.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
And we can sit here and start having a conversation about, fucked up shit that we've seen and all of that stuff. And it'll just be like, okay, well, I remember this one, and I remember this one, and then we were together on this one, and then this thing, and then this thing.
It starts triggering other ones.
Yeah.
I just not remember the call that I
start going down a fucking rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that call in a long time.
Yeah.
That's what
weird,
isn't
isn't it?
That's what sucks about being a medic sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we already know, but you got to go confirm.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, great. Now I have to go in, and if I'm working as a medic that day.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the
those suck.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the roughest ones for me was right after I went back to work, after I got out of treatment. Ran a dude that shot himself in the head. And his daughter found him. And I had to go in to the garage because he did it in his truck in the garage. Yeah. And I was the one that had to go in and confirm, yes, he is no longer living.
Indeed, not there.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking crazy. It's like, there are some things that you guys shouldn't have to, like, if it's fucking obvious. And I get it, like, for legality and,
that's what it comes back to.
Yeah. Like, was he dead?
Well,
his fucking brain's on the ground, so.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get who made those rules.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. Missing a head.
Yeah.
Well, check the head.
I mean, there's still a chance, right?
Still a fucking chance. His eyes are open, but his head's over there. His body's right here. Fuck, man. Like, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, in the movies, that's totally salvageable. So.
We got a little bit of needle and thread goes a long way.
Yeah.
Tourniquet.
Absolutely.
That's where the tourniquet comes in.
You need 2 tourniquets for that one.
And a bag of ice.
Yes.
That's all you need.
2 tourniquets and a bag of ice. Doesn't matter what's wrong with you, that'll fix it.
Yeah.
Just got to cauterize it. So all you got to do is
Oh, God.
That would be
take your shotgun shell and a flare, and you're good.
That'd be a smelly scene.
Dude, that was one of the worst trends of the 80s/90s of action movies, of the action stars cauterizing their wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you've seen, what was it, Rambo 3?
Rambo 3.
Fuck. Not in a long time.
So,
the most recent movie I remember of someone cauterizing the room is John Wick 3.
Yeah, that was actually kind of a little bit more accurate, I think.
Probably, I'd say more accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in Rambo Part 3, it was a piece of wood, right? Or something?
I thought it was like an arrow or...
No, I think it was a piece of
could've been
wood,
a piece of
shrapnel
wood.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
he
been so long since I've seen it.
got halfway impaled. Like, it went all
It was
the
in
way...
his love handle.
In his love handle, right? So he pulls it out, which shouldn't do anyway. And then he takes I want to say it was like a 40 millimeter.
It could have been. Yeah, I think it
that
was.
he like unscrewed the top off of and like packed the powder in there and then had a fire going and then touched it off to Carter. And I mean, you saw the flame shoot out both sides and he did the Stallone and fell over and then got up and then started kicking ass again.
I would say that it's probably not medically approved.
I don't think
in his defense, he was in a cave in Afghanistan.
Well, so was Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he put a fucking magnet in his chest.
That's a little different intelligence level there.
That's Air Force versus Marines, guys.
Just different levels of training, that's it. Oh, geez.
Rambo got back in the fight faster than Tony Stark did, though.
Yeah.
So,
Tony
okay.
Stark had a metal suit.
Yeah. I
With
mean,
rockets.
arguably, Iron Man killed more people than Rambo did.
I'll still take Rambo over Tony Stark.
Yeah. I don't know. Tony's got the flair outside of the suit. Like he's a cool guy. Rambo's just kind of like he's just a grunt.
Yeah.
A good grunt.
Yeah.
Dealing with severe PTSD. We really
It's a
should.
miracle he can even focus at all.
Yeah.
That's why he went home.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on the last one. That was terrible.
I haven't seen it.
Don't
I won't watch it.
Don't
I
watch
liked
it. It's awful.
Yeah.
We could do a whole like we did with Clone Wars, we could do a whole podcast on each one of those movies and the PTSD and stuff.
Oh, it was evident in the first one.
Oh, it was horrid. But that's one of those things, though, that it kind of boggles my mind because that movie, the first one was made, in like 83, 84?
It was 85.
Okay, 85, whatever. So made in the early 80s.
Let's just find out because I don't remember the exact
The
years.
book that it was based on was written in like the 70s or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew about PTSD then and what soldiers went through.
Yeah.
So why in 2000 and...
Oh, no. Rambo 2 was in 85.
In 2000 plus, they're still fucking that shit up with veterans and first responders. Like, this is 40 years.
Yeah,
1982, by the way.
Okay.
First one.
We all know the military has a massive issue with dealing with that shit. But it's like, it's almost as if they don't care.
Well,
hey, here's a pill.
Yeah.
You don't have PTSD. Hey, it's okay, man. Just get back in the fight. It's like, yeah, it's great. We all want to get back in the fight, but if you have debilitating issues, like,
yeah.
who's it going to help?
Well, yeah, and you're just a liability at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people handle it differently, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to say some people. Everybody handles it differently. Some people, it's debilitating in different ways. Some people get super sad. Some people just shut down from the world, and some people get angry.
Yeah.
And I don't. My therapist that I worked with, I mean, he determined that, and not that I ever thought I did. He stated just based on what I was going through, it's not PTSD. It's just I'm just struggling with like the loss of my friends in a really bad way. But I was angry all the time. But I go through spouts. Like, I got pulled aside by my chief again, where he was just like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on?" He seemed very, very irritable. I'm just like, "Well, it's this, and this," and him and I have a good relationship where we can just sit down personally and talk.
Yeah.
And there's no consequence to it unless I tell him something that's like has to be addressed.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, this. He's like, "Why the fuck are you mad about that? It's the stupidest shit to be mad about." And I'm like, you know what? You're fucking right. Because that is some dumb shit to be mad about. But you don't realize that it's because you're letting little shit get to you because you're not dealing with other stuff. And I'm getting a lot better at it. I think there was another day where I was like just sitting on the couch watching like a documentary, and
you got mad at a documentary?
No, like I was watching.
Fuck you, Josh Gates.
It's weird, man. I was watching a documentary on like the Fallujah, when the SEALs were over in Fallujah.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something simple, like we were talking about their experiences, and the entire time just sitting there thinking about the shit that I like, the shit that happened to my friends. And I was getting upset in an angry way, and then as soon as I turned it off, I walked away from it. I was like, fine.
Yeah.
So, but
well, dude, I mean, seeing that kind of stuff, I mean, is gonna bring that stuff up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things and we've kind of talked about it, about doing this podcast. We're sitting here talking about this stuff all the time, and it brings shit up, you know, of, hey, got to deal with this now and deal with that now. And then, you know, it's everywhere. Social media, you know, watching TV. Mm-hmm. You'll see a commercial that reminds you of something, or a TV show will have some scene that reminds you of something, especially if you watch if you watch fire shows or cop shows or military shows or, you know, documentaries about whatever. There's going to be shit that reminds you of stuff.
Yeah, always.
And you gotta deal with it and address it.
Yeah, I'll say, like, as time goes on, everybody knows this, time heals all wounds, right? Or makes it easier. Whatever the fucking saying is, you guys know what I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
it helps.
That's the saying.
Yeah.
I think it helps for a lot of stuff, but not everything.
Not everything, but I would say, like, when I used to get super emotional about thinking about those things, like, it's not, I mean, it's sad, but it's not to where it's like debilitating to where.
Yeah, now you learned how to deal with it and how to cope with it.
Yeah. But you also went to therapy and talked about it.
Yeah. And I got a lot of help from my buddies just talking to them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's a thing that I think is often overlooked and underutilized is talking with people, with your friends who shared the same experiences, but talking in a purposeful way and not just rehashing and staying in it. Because that's also kind of common.
Yeah, it actually just kind of makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody knows how to be a therapist.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's not what you need in that situation anyway.
I just need somebody to talk to, which is great. My girlfriend has been amazing, who, she's always sat down and listened to me talk, and I do the same for her. If I can keep my
keep your attention.
God damn, man, my attention is terrible sometimes, man.
I'm surprised we're still sitting here.
Yeah, I feel so bad when she's talking sometimes, and it's just I'm goddamn fucking two squirrels going on. And it doesn't look good on I think of myself as a very intelligent person. I've done a lot, but it's not that it doesn't interest me, but it's just if I have something going on in my mind that I'm thinking dead on about, and then I can't get my mind off of it, it's so bad.
Yep.
So, especially if it has to do with something that stresses me out. I'm just okay, I got to take care of it right now, and then I just can't get my mind off of it. But
well, I mean, there's something to be said for that of just dealing with it right now. Do it right now, so you don't have to worry about it later.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, at 1 a.m., I can't go to Costco and buy steaks. So,
okay. Well, okay.
I'm just saying that's not what I'm getting stressed out about, but that's almost the equivalent of what it is. Just stupid shit. I'm just can't get my mind off of it.
Yeah.
So
that have you ever thought about doing neurofeedback? Did I talk to you about that?
I think a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, because I used to have that problem really bad, and that used to mess with my sleep a lot, where I would lay down and then all of a sudden I would just be my mind would just start spinning. And
then you're not tired anymore?
Yeah. Well, I would still be tired, but I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking, and then taking this story to this conclusion, but then that kicks off this story, and just doing that thing for an hour, and then finally,
a movie.
Yeah, I'm making my brain movies. It's bad, but I went and did neurofeedback, and that helped a ton with that.
Yeah,
because it retrains your brain to operate how it's supposed to. I mean, for lack of a long, drawn-out explanation. Yeah. So it makes your brain waves are supposed to act in a certain way. To if you need to be amped up, then certain waves go up. And if you need to calm down, then it comes back down and other ones go up and all that stuff. And that's what it helps you kind of achieve. And it's weird to do it, too.
Kind of re-regulates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of helps with that fight or flight response and activating all that stuff. But you sit there and you're looking at a TV screen basically, and there's a couple different versions of it, but the one that I did was those pictures that are blanked out with tiles, and then they remove a tile and it reveals the picture as it goes. Have you ever seen that stuff?
Yeah, I've seen those.
That's exactly what it was. And
that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and as your brain is starting to do what it's supposed to do, the tiles will reveal a little bit faster, a little bit more. So, and you'll sit there and you'll just be straining. Why am I not getting any more tiles off? It's the harder you try, the worse it is.
I'll have to look into that. That's probably something that would be really good.
Yeah, I'll give you some contact information when we get done.
Cool.
So, is your girlfriend still a dispatcher?
So she was on road. She's a police officer now.
Oh.
She went to the academy, got out in November, went on FTO, right. And then got off around March time frame. So, and then I got her pregnant, which was something that was planned. I know that she wanted to spend a little bit more time on the road, and we had talked about waiting until the end of the year, so that way she could do it through the winter.
Yeah.
But then it happened, and unfortunately, it was a tough fucking road. because we went to a Blake Shelton concert, the one that was here in Kansas City, and I was in the bathroom, and she sent me a snap, and I walked out, and she's like, "Did you see the snap I sent you?" And I was like, "No." And on the snap, it was like she took a photo of herself and said, "First time, first concert with the baby." And I read it as like
with you.
I was like, "This isn't." I looked. I was like, "This isn't our first concert." And I'm like,
"Why? That's why you're not a detective."
I said, "Motherfucker!" And then I go, like, realize what she's talking about. She's pregnant. We knew for 5 days before the miscarriage.
Oh,
yeah, that was the first one, and then went to the doctor and got it all looked at. Got on the right medication. They told us, reinsured us. Like, usually the second time around after a miscarriage is the prime time. Like, it's good. So then we tried again, and not 2 weeks later, she was pregnant again. After she went through the entire process, about 2 weeks after that, she's pregnant again. Now we're about to be done with her first trimester, and due in December.
Nice,
like
Christmas baby.
Yeah,
that poor kid.
Yeah, that's a
gonna get screwed out of presents.
Really hoping to push it to like January. Yeah, the same month as me, but that was tough, man. Like it was really hard for her, and I mean, I didn't think about. I remember driving back home, just like crying. Didn't think it would affect me that much, and it did. It fucking ripped me apart, because then, that happens, and we're really good people. We're good fucking parents. We make a good living. We can provide. And then I go to work, and I deal with these fucking crackheads that have kids, and it's like, why the fuck?
Yeah.
Why does God give you a kid? And that's a really dark thought. Well, why do you get one and I don't? You're a piece of shit. You're never going to provide this for that family or for that kid.
Yeah.
But things work out. Now we're having a kid, and we're going to find out soon whether it's going to be a boy or girl. And the feeling of knowing that the girls are coordinating something, I pretty much had to leave the house, because they had a package coming in for I almost got the older one today, and I was like, "Hey, so what's coming in the mail?" She just looked over at me and just kind of smiled. She's 11 years old, really smart. Both of them are incredibly intelligent. But smiled at me. I was just teasing her. But it's my first Father's Day, and like, it kind of hit me today. I was like, "This is fucking nuts."
Yeah.
So it changes your perspective.
I would imagine that it does.
Yeah. Now she has 2 kids, and I'm helping raise them, and then we're having one of our own. So,
yeah.
But love the girls. They love me, and it's been crazy. It's been awesome.
Good.
So,
yeah. I do not have any kids. I have a 4-year-old nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have multiple nieces and nephews, but the 4-year-old's around the most, it seems like.
Yeah.
So, which is why I have a box of Nerf guns and Matchbox cars and all kinds of things in my
Whatever.
basement.
Those are your toys. Don't put it on him.
Hey, man. So, yeah. It's going to be fun. So,
yeah, I'm excited. We're really, really hoping for a boy, but if it ends up being a girl, then
yeah.
Well, she's going to be a badass girl. That's all I'm going to tell you. She's going to be awesome. So, she's going to be cool.
Cool, man. Well, I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you.
Congrats.
So,
yeah.
How long have we been? Oh, wow. Hour and 42. That's not bad.
I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Good conversation.
Yeah. It goes fast, man. Sometimes you're down here and it's like, oh, we've only been here for 30 minutes. Like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
How are we going to make it another 30? And then you're like, oh, it's been 2 hours. And yeah. So.
I mean, I will say, man, like, the difference between me in November and me now is night and day. Like, I don't forget the issues that I had, or I don't forget the things that we lost. But I am a much happier person now, and like, I try to do better every single fucking day.
Yeah.
And the things that we all did in California, they helped.
Yeah.
And people, I think, need to look more into those things and try to get help.
Yeah. Well, and it's the realization that, number one, the help is needed.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, that it's okay. And then finding the resources.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, thankfully, we're getting to that point where the resources are becoming more available. It's still, I mean, like he made the joke earlier about, you know, trying to find a therapist and how long is your wait time.
That wasn't a joke.
I know it wasn't a joke.
Well,
it's 100% a fucking problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. But, you know, it's a real issue.
Yeah.
And so,
I think about it, it's a lot of schooling for. I mean, the reward's great because you get to help people, but we all got to make a living.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
Well, and that goes back to, I mean, I don't want to get into it on my soapbox too much, but insurance companies.
Yeah. Bean counters.
Yeah.
That's not important.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about it off camera of how bad it is and how little they pay.
Well, I can't even remember if I discussed my no, did I? Was that after? Dude, the process of me being able to find a therapist was atrocious.
Yeah.
And it's all lies.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll hook you up with the right person, and you know they have experience with, you know, law enforcement, firefighters, all this shit. And you call them up, they're like, yeah, we don't do that. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Oh, by the way, if you call them up and you don't get to somebody, or like, no, first off, you have to call up, leave a message.
Yeah.
With this particular information. If you don't give it to them, they won't call you. It's like if you fuck up, like, don't give them the right, like, serial number, whatever, they won't call you back. If they do call you back and you miss that phone, you got to start the entire process over again. And by the way, if you want to cancel your appointment or reschedule and you don't have your guy's number, can't get a hold of them. My therapist is not even in the fucking calling tree.
What?
At that, yeah, I made it very well known to my department that what they are telling us is not true. So, thank God. I think it looks like we're going a different path with our EAP.
Yeah.
So,
well, and unfortunately, there's what I have seen, because I have a different perspective of it.
yeah,
I get to see it from a different angle. There are a lot of therapists and organizations that are saying that they treat first responders and cops who have zero experience doing so, but because it's becoming more of a thing now and it's more in kind of the public eye than it was in previous years, now everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon. And, oh yeah, we specialize in that. We specialize in that. No, you don't.
I'm trying to monetize on it.
Yeah. So that's why you have to be super, super picky.
And we're the quickest people to call people on their bullshit too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know fucking shit.
Yep.
So,
but they don't know that because they don't know.
yeah.
So,
yep.
But, and that's how therapy for first responders ends up getting a bad rap, because you have this person who goes and makes an appointment because they need some help and they're going to do therapy, and then they get a shit therapist. And then what do? They go back to their department. This is fucking bullshit. I mean, fuck therapy.
Yep.
And then everybody else is like, oh yeah, fuck therapy. This guy tried it. It didn't fucking work.
On the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Shit doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. But it's the same thing, like, and we've talked about it, like the peer support programs and stuff.
Mm.
All it takes is one person just dropping the ball on that, and it fucks the whole program. Because if you tell somebody something as a, you know, in a peer support capacity, and then it gets around the department, guess what? Peer support's done with that department.
You'll never get somebody to trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta trust everybody on there too, because like there are some people on our peer support that I look at in that list and I'm just like, wouldn't say a word to.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, that's why there should be a extreme vetting process for that kind of stuff, and there should be a extreme vetting process for therapists who are going to work with departments.
You know, I tell you this, man, I got in trouble one time. Not even in trouble, just got a talking to. I was training.
You get a lot of talkings too.
Probably. I'm very, I don't know. People say I'm very intense. It's justified most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was training this kid one day, and he was kind of being, I don't know what his deal was that day, but we pull up into the parking lot. He's supposed to go in. We just needed booking paperwork. That's all we needed. He had to run a dispatch, grab booking paperwork. I said, okay, while you're in there, just knock this out real quick, get back out here so we can go. We can do some things. 30 minutes later, still not back out here. I go in. I said, what are you doing? Oh, man, I'm just in here talking, blah, blah, blah. I said, did you get the booking paperwork? He said, no. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you fucking kidding me? I said, get your ass up. Let's go. We got shit to do. And we didn't have anything to do. The point is like, I mean, yes, we had shit to do. I want to go out and be productive. Like, This is our job. We're supposed to be out in the street. Not in here flirting around and being stupid. And when I tell you to come in here and pick up booking paperwork, come right back out, and I come in here, and not only did you not grab the booking paperwork or complete it, you're sitting here dicking around on the computer, signed in. Like, do you think this is a game? And I said this, pretty much said that to him. I'm your fucking trainer, dude. Like, I'm supposed to be out there training you to be a cop. Because his FTO wasn't there that night. But then the person that was in the dispatch room, who happened to be a part of our peer support group, thought I was a little too harsh on him and reported me. Fucking soft. This is what I say, stay in your lane. Because you don't know why I was upset with him. And you just need to worry about yourself at that point. If he has an issue, he can go to he can go to my supervisor and say, "Hey, I thought Leon was being a little too soft or too hard." Never too soft. I was being a little bit too harsh on him. That's okay. Then him and I can have a private conversation with my supervisor, and we can address that. But then I'm also going to tell my supervisor as to why I was upset with him.
Yeah.
And guess who's more than likely going to be in trouble? Probably not me. You know, I've been doing this a little bit longer than you. Not long, but longer than you.
Yeah.
You don't get to decide, especially when you're in training, you don't get to decide that you're just going to do this and just sit in the office and pretty much blow me off.
Dude, that's
it's the fucking mentality of this younger generation, man.
Yeah.
So, but no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it comes back to peer support. They don't understand you have some people that are on the peer support that don't understand our jobs and our personalities and our demeanors and how we go about talking with each other, whether they know that we're joking or not. Because a lot of times me and a few guys will get into it just talking, and it sounds like we're fighting, but we're really not. We're just horsing around.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Like,
not at all.
Nope. We constantly professional.
Yep. Constantly only positive affirmations to each other.
I am.
Yeah. But no, that's the problem with having people who are not equipped to be on peer support. And if they don't understand the job, then they shouldn't be on peer support because they're not a peer. I mean, it's really that fucking simple. You know?
Yeah.
It's like
literally in the title.
Yeah.
And if you have a question about it, if you want to question me on how I handled that situation, then pull me aside.
Yeah.
Hey, you seemed a little bit upset right there. What's going on? Well, you see, I told him to do this, this, and this, and he wasn't listening. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, ask about it. At the end of the day, it's really none of her concern.
Yeah. Well, that comes back to that communication thing.
Yeah. That whole problem could have been solved just by a simple question.
Yep.
But he also could have just listened. Because what happens when he doesn't listen when it's a very, very important or dangerous situation?
Mm-hmm. That's the point that I constantly make about these career fields is trust.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you don't have that with the person that you're working with in these career fields, you don't have anything. So if I can't trust you to go in and do what I just told you to do and come right back out, how can I trust you if we're in a foot chase?
A fucking menial task.
Yeah.
Grab paper.
Yeah.
How can I trust you to make a decision to take away somebody's rights and put them in handcuffs.
Yep.
Because if you're not right in that decision, guess who's getting sued? You. Guess who's losing their job? You.
Yeah.
Like, don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, and in today's world, I mean, if you're sitting there on scene,
you're a part of it.
Yeah. You're in trouble
too.
Oh,
yeah. It's ridiculous, man. It comes back to trust.
Yeah.
But, whatever. So.
Closing thoughts.
Watch Nick Cage movies.
He's got taxes to pay, people.
Well,
I think Chris.
You got to make money first before you can pay taxes. Is he really making good money?
I think he's doing okay. Again, he's made some pretty good movies.
I mean, he makes way more money than all of us. So I mean,
yeah.
But that's fair.
I think he's crawling back out. Or he's back out. One of the two.
I mean, he's for sure not going to be Superman, but
No.
But who still has more taxes to pay? Is it him or Wesley Snipes?
I think him.
I think
his was a bigger deal than Wesley Snipes.
Oh, fuck. Wesley Snipes went to jail, dude. Did he go to jail too?
No.
Well, it's correct. Prison. He went to prison.
Yeah.
So,
I think he was
paying
cutting a
it
deal.
back.
Yeah, he was paying it back, and Wesley Snipes was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
He probably did cut a deal to pay it back, like restitution, and then he just said, "No, fuck you guys."
Yeah.
But,
that boggles my mind though of how those like celebrities and stuff can get that far into tax. Like, how are you not paying attention to that?
That's why you hire a CPA, get you an accountant.
But it was the accountant that, I mean, in the Wesley Snipes deal, it was his accountant that fucked him.
Yeah, but you're still responsible.
Yeah.
Imagine how fucking pissed off you'd be if your accountant fucked everything up and you ended up going to jail.
Oh, dude. I'm not going to say what would happen since we have a law enforcement officer sitting right here.
Falling down.
Hey, this is not my jurisdiction.
Yeah. He would probably, that individual probably would trip and fall on a knife and a gun multiple times.
Why fall on the gun?
I just, because that's how it works. And then go for a swim in the ocean. I don't know.
With a cinder block?
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
It's been I appreciate you guys having me back out here. And it was a much different conversation than the first one, which is, I enjoyed it. I think, I'll tell you what, you go back to the first podcast we did, and you look at this one.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah.
Because, obviously we're all sitting around all somber and sad, talking about our really bad things that happen, why we're out there in California, and now we're all back home. We're having, our lives have completely changed.
Yeah.
Mine has.
Yeah.
It's crazy what it can happen in 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's why I wanted to do this one.
Yeah.
Is because, and I think that's one of the big selling points, or one of the things for that program.
Yeah.
Is you go out there and this is how we are out there, and you get to see that. And then you see the 6-7 months later of this is the result of going out there. This is what started this process, and this is where I'm at now. So, I don't know. Yeah. I think I should, get some money from Rob for this. This is advertising for him.
Yeah, Rob. Swell. Just pay for me to go back out to Cali.
Yeah.
I'll go have some fun.
That's all I'm saying is, another surf trip, which, he was supposed to be sending me itineraries, and never got them.
And they talked about going to England.
Yes.
I don't want to do that.
I
don't like 8-hour flights. Not a few of them.
I'm not a fan of them. I've been to Ireland twice, and the first time was fine. The second time sucked pretty bad.
Well, the flight over there, it's during the night, so you can sleep.
Yeah.
The flight back is just middle of fucking day.
Yeah.
So you're just 8 hours on a plane. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't walk around.
No. Just
only so many movies you can watch.
Yeah.
But no.
As long as they're Nick Cage movies.
I'll watch Con Air.
Yes.
4 times.
Yeah. And that horrible, horrible Southern accent that he has.
But hey, he's a Ranger.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Now, is it the Ranger Regiment or is it Ranger Tab?
Yeah,
Which one are we talking about?
You need to be specific.
No.
That shit cracks me up.
Fucking 90s movies, man.
Yeah. And
But imagine how many people it got to enlist.
Oh, yeah, probably just like Top Gun did in the 80s.
Outrageous, man. Outrageous amounts. So
I'm going to be a naval aviator.
Ends up being a cook.
Yeah. But if you're like a cook like in Under Siege, then you were a SEAL before you were a cook. Come on, man.
And you can win 2 Navy Crosses.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
So I'm just saying.
Former Navy SEAL. Yeah. Now cook.
Yeah.
He's just too hard for the job now.
Yep.
They had to put him as a cook.
I mean, whenever
he's struck an officer.
Yeah.
So you can either be a shaman or a cook.
Yeah.
Or a cop in Louisiana.
Start Googling all the damn movies that guy's been in. Fucking can't stand him. Steven Seagal.
Oh, man. He is a piece of work, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's something legitimately wrong with his brain.
He's weird.
He's a Russian citizen now. He's like best friends with Putin.
Oh, we won't speak his name anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
And on that note.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me out.
Well, thanks for doing it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man.
I won't say thank you to Chris because he's here, even though,
I don't want to be.
Tally up those votes.
Yeah.
Come on, get me fired.
Somebody at least please vote on that. Just comment on Instagram. Comment on this video even.
Notice I haven't voted for myself.
No, he hasn't.
You haven't?
Yeah. You should start an Instagram page just to vote on #FireChris.
It won't take off. Nobody cares about us.
That'll be the thing that...
Not yet.
Yeah.
That's what I keep hoping for.
I mean, eventually we'll maybe get there. I don't know.
Then I'll change it to #KeepChris. #PayChrisMore.
#renegotiate shoe deal.
It's a shoe deal. Sponsor me, school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I was always a Copenhagen guy.
I'm ready to quit.
I quit. It was tough.
Yeah.
Well, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
So
I'm in the process right now. There's just not any good alternatives, really.
I did a cold turkey.
Yeah, I've done it cold turkey before.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work so well.
It sucked. But
so,
yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks to Leon for joining us again. Thanks for Chris being here.
I'm not as professional as Leon.
Invaluable Nick Cage references.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No. Oh, yes, I do. I'm a professional, yes. Yes, okay. Took me a second.
Shit.
Holy fuck. I literally thought that you were just going back to like a slam on me.
Nope, not this time.
No, that actually, very, very fucking good movie. Especially when he starts chewing up the fucking medication before he just goes off in that apartment. Oh, God. See, yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
Obscure fucking movie references. Anyway, if you're struggling, reach out. There are resources. If you know somebody that's struggling, reach out. Let them know you cared. Let them know what resources are available. And, join us next time for whatever we got going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks.